My name is Bernard. I've been working in the cybersecurity field for over 20 years, with just as many years of education. There is a war going on that we are losing. I don't mean America or any other country. Every connected device and human on the planet are participants in this war, whether we like it or not. This war is happening through the networks, straight to our very identities. The attackers are unseen, and most people lack the proper knowledge to defend. Cyber war news is happening now! This is Cyber War News Now, reporting on the cyber war for May 6th. Current top headlines are AMC Network says, "Our bad. Hamas has gone digital," and U.S. power grid disruption. Let's discuss what is happening in the field. AMC Networks inadvertently left the information of 1.6 million subscribers to its Sundance Now and Shudder streaming services exposed. Subscribers' information, such as names, emails, and subscription plan details related to the two services, were found in an unprotected and publicly available database by a cyber threat intelligence director at Security Discovery Consulting. AMC Networks did not immediately respond to requests for comment. We became aware of an issue regarding access to an internal development database, which was primarily used for catalog data along with certain other non-sensitive subscriber information, and we immediately took action and we went ahead and closed off this access. The company said in a statement to Security Discovery Consulting, "We're taking steps to make sure this doesn't happen again." Development database? Are they using production data for test data? Are they not segregating their development network? What a hot mess. I continue to say we are at cyber war, but this weekend, real life and cyber crossed their streams. The Israeli military said its soldiers thwarted a cyber attack by the Hamas terror group over the weekend, without elaborating on the nature or target of the offensive. The Israeli Defense Forces said once the digital threat was neutralized, fighter jets destroyed the building housing the headquarters of the terror group's cyber unit. It was stated that Hamas no longer has cyber capabilities after the strike, but if they have a computer and an internet connection, I am unsure how Israel can be so certain. The attack came amid a weekend of intense fighting. Since Saturday, Palestinian terrorists launched upwards of 600 rockets and mortar shells at Israel, killing 2 people, and fired an anti-tank guided missile at a car north of the Gaza Strip, killing the driver. In response, the Israeli Defense Forces conducted hundreds of airstrikes on targets linked to the terror groups throughout the Gaza Strip, killing at least 14 Palestinians, nearly all of them members of rocket-launching cells. Israel says that the cyber attack occurred Saturday and was aimed at harming the quality of life of Israeli citizens. The attempt by Hamas was not a particularly advanced one. The IDF said the cyber operation was a collaborative effort between the elite Unit 8200 of the military intelligence, the Israeli Defense Forces. Israel's ability to defend itself and thwart cyber attacks means the Hamas terror group's efforts to carry out attacks in the cyber realm fail time and time again. This was one of the first incidents in which Israel defended themselves in both the cyber domain and the real-life domain. The military said Hamas likely knows by now that its efforts failed. I would think so, since Israel blew up the building they were carrying out the cyber attack from. Regardless, I think it is a great example of real life and digital life crossing lines. If you think you are safe in the digital realm, you may want to think again. you may have an airstrike headed your way. Security professionals have been warning for years that critical services like electricity and water were not safe from the cyber war. Recently, a power company joined the victim list in the cyber war. A recent cyber disruption to the U.S. power grid involved a denial of service condition at a Western utility, according to a Department of Energy official. On March 5th, an unidentified power company fell victim to a cyber event that interfered with operations but stopped short of causing blackouts, according to a Department of Energy filing this week. A Department of Energy official confirmed that the event did not impact generation, the reliability of the grid, or cause any customer outages. But the denial of service attack was significant enough for the utility to file an electric disturbance report with the Department of Energy. The same forms reserved for major interruptions like storms, physical attacks, or fuel shortages. Denial of service, or DOS for short, cyber attacks overwhelm target networks with bogus traffic, making it difficult for victim computers to operate normally. Distributed denial of service, or DDoS, attacks harness the power of hacked botnets of computers to throw at hacker targets. In December 2015, suspected Russian hackers used stolen login credentials to hit 3 distribution utilities in Ukraine, briefly cutting the lights to about 250,000 people in a first-of-its-kind cyber attack. The March event doesn't appear to be part of a coordinated hacking campaign, but based on the limited information disclosed by the Department of Energy and several organizations in the Anonymous Utilities Service area of Utah, Wyoming, and Southern California. Still, a malicious cyber event wasn't previously known to have interfered with United States power grid operations, making the March 5th disclosure significant. The denial of service event took advantage of a known software vulnerability that required a previously published patch to fix, according to the Department of Energy official. In other words, with a patch in hand, it wouldn't have been difficult for power companies to identify and update any computer systems potentially at risk. Department of Energy didn't clarify which equipment, whether it was routers, workstations, or even phones, were affected by the denial of service. Denial of service attacks frequently target internet-facing devices or services. In order for a denial of service to have triggered an electric disturbance alert, it likely would have hit something more significant, but still externally facing industry sources speculate. Perhaps firewalls or routers on the boundary of a grid network? While a cyber attack on such equipment wouldn't disrupt the flow of electricity, it could force operators to pause or redirect certain activities at affected facilities to allow for an investigation. The denial of service event reflects a concerning uptick in attacks, sophisticated or not, targeting critical infrastructure facilities worldwide. Tools, once exclusively available to nation-state hacking teams, are being used by criminal organizations and the general public. The utility targeted in the March 5th denial of service attack hasn't been identified. This sounds a lot like a test to me. Disrupt the service just enough to get attention to see what the response would be. Once the response is known, the attacker will know how to ensure greater success for a longer period of time. I think there is more to come. So ensure you have those flashlights and candles ready. In a war we cannot see, knowledge is your only defense. Stay safe and stay secure. We will see you next time. I hope this video provided you with current information to prepare a cyber defense strategy. Please provide a like, and don't forget to share with those you care about. If you'd like me to discuss a specific issue or have a question, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and all of my social media outlets so you don't miss any of the top news from the cyber war. Thanks for watching.